Morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to Q2 earnings call of Polyplex Thailand PLC. For investors who are joining us new, just a recap on what Polyplex is doing globally. So we, as a group, we have 6 manufacturing locations over 5 countries. So 2 are locations of the parent company in India at 2 different locations. Then Polyplex Thailand has manufacturing location in Thailand, Turkey and USA, and upcoming location in Indonesia. In addition to the manufacturing facilities with the intention to be closer to our customers, we have several rep offices and trading setups and warehouses. Looking at the value chain that we are a part of, so we are third on the run of value chain. So we manufacture polyester film, which is used for a wide variety of applications, which I'll come to it later. We also produce our own resin, which is one can say downstream of petrochemical value chain, as well as we have invested into downstream value add businesses and also side stream value add businesses over a period of time. Now looking the industry itself, in terms of application is divided into packaging and industrial. So the packaging applications are primarily into consumer staple, especially the food items, and some non-food items like detergents, shampoos, etc. On industrial side, there are a host of applications. To name the important ones, it's used in solar modules, it's used for electrical applications, used for construction and housing, and also for LCD, LED televisions and smartphone screens. This gives you a view of the global capacities. In terms of production, we are the 5th largest polyester film manufacturer globally. And here you can see that one location for Polyplex essentially means backward integration into resins, which is our raw material, forward integration for downstream value add product lines or business streams, and also some side stream investments into olefinic films. Now coming on to Q2 results. So Q2, like Q1, has been quite a robust quarter in terms of performance and growth. The Q2 revenue stands at around 3.8 billion, which is a 21% increase YOY. EBITDA stands at around 700 million Thai baht, again 21% increase compared to the last quarter, and EBITDA margins stand at around 18%. Earning per share for the quarter at 0.151 Thai baht, and if we would annualize it, it comes to around 2.04. We were happy to announce an interim dividend of around 31 satang per share. Free cash flow was 542 million Thai baht, and debt to equity also improved to 0.17. I'll come to it later. And we have a A- THA credit rating from Fitch with a stable outlook. So that was quite an achievement for us as Polyplex Thailand. I'm happy to state that we were able to successfully debottleneck our base film capacities globally, both for thin and thick film. And we had 4% Q-on-Q improvement in production for thin films and 7% Q-on-Q improvement in thick films. If we look at a YOY improvement, it's almost 20% improvement in thick film production. For the value-added businesses, also we have seen improvement in metallizing production, in offline coated production, and in Saralam, in Saracoat, ranging from around 3% to almost 15%, 17% YOY improvement in different value-add businesses. Now, blown film, there is almost 60% year-on-year increase in production, and that is primarily because of a new investment which we made in a new blown film line, which started in July this year. So coming to the financial highlights, EBITDA, as I said, is around 700 million Thai baht, and which is 21% improvement year-on-year. And net profit also, net profit margins also expanded to 462 million Thai baht, which is 34% increase YOY. In line with improvement in EBITDA and net profit, EPS and ROC also improved to approximately 34% year-on-year. And debt equity has improved by almost 23%. If we look at half one for year 2018-19, the EBITDA has improved almost 19% year-on-year. Net profit, which stands at 915 million Thai baht, has improved 30% year-on-year. Earning per share and ROC has also improved in line with EBITDA and net margins improvement by around 31%. And debt equity for half one also is 23% improvement over half one of last year. And return on equity has improved almost 20% for the first half compared to the first half of last year. EBITDA margins continue to improve quarter on quarter, year on year, and that is a significant achievement team at Polyplex, Thailand, and different subsidiaries have been able to achieve. Something to note here is that we have been able to successfully debottleneck the capacities at different locations, which I mentioned earlier, and also improve the industry margins are improving year on year, backed up by closing demand-supply gap. And on back of these improvements, our EBITDA margins now stand at around 18%. Earning per share also has improved in line with the EBITDA improvement and net profit margin improvements. And one needs to understand that the basic industry structure of polyester film is changing. There was an overhang of overcapacity, which was since 2011-2012. The gap has been narrowing since, and we come to it late in the later slides to understand how the industry has changed over the last 5 to 6 years. A return on capital employed has been improving year on year since 2014, where it hit the lowest point at 2.03%. We have been able to improve the CUF not only for the base films, but also for new investments that we had made into value-add product lines, value-add applications, and also side stream investments in blown, as well as other side stream businesses. In addition to, and all these efforts have led to improving cash flows. And now our debt equity stands at 0.17, which is quite a significant improvement if we compare it with 2014-15. Now coming to the markets where we are operating as Polyplex. Now North America and European markets are mature markets. The customers there value local production, and you get a premium if you are a domestic producer. This premium could be somewhere between 10 to $20 per kilo. This is the kind of premiums that you could get. There is a higher risk perception in these markets as far as specialty films are concerned. So if specialty films are either manufactured locally or distributed by the company which is manufacturing these products offshore, you tend to get qualified in the customers much faster, and then you are there to stay because offshore competition is not able to get into these kind of applications or these kind of customers as far as specialty films are concerned. And so over last 1 year, US has been able to increase its specialty film sales, which is either manufactured in US or manufactured in other group locations, especially manufactured at Polyplex, Turkey. Similar is the case for Europe, where the sales of specialty films and value-added films has improved year on year, and is the biggest differentiation that we have against onslaught of offshore competition, especially from India into Europe and from Middle East into USA. Now, as far as Asia is concerned, this is the fastest growing region globally, with the growth rates varying from 3 to 5% in few developed or close to developed economies, to almost 8 to 10% in underdeveloped or developing economies. So it is by far the fastest growing region in the globe, globally. And we chose to, as Polyplex, invest in Indonesia, which within Asia is one of the fastest growing economy and also fastest growth rate as far as our product line is concerned, which is somewhere between 6 to 8%. Now, unlike other regions where we operate, which is in Europe and in US, where China is less of a threat and less of a competition, Asia, China is a significant competition, and they determine the pricing, or they set the bottom price for the market, and also the margins that you can get for this business or this product line. Having said that, the industry structure in China is changing. China used to be having the largest overcapacity as far as polyester film was concerned till a couple of years back. There have been no investments in China for polyester film over last 4 years, of a little over 4 years, in fact. And even when there are new capacities which are expected to come up globally in 2019, 2020, there's not a single capacity which has been announced in China which would start in 2019 or 2020. So dynamics in the Chinese market are changing, and that is leading to improvement in the industry margins in Asia, which is a very, very big development as far as our industry is concerned. And I'll talk about the Chinese margins going forward, but we see less of low price, low margin activity from Chinese firms in the Southeast Asian and Far East market now as compared to a year before or a couple of years before. Now, to update on Indonesia, the new investment, the startup date still is on target, on schedule, which is July 2019. So we don't see any delay as far as the startup of this investment is concerned. The project cost is also expected to be within budget. We don't see any problems here. The financial closure has been achieved, and key LCs have been opened. The equipment deliveries are expected to start from 15th of January. And the plant, as I said, is expected to start from July 2019. The bottom, if you see the right bottom corner, that's a current picture of the current construction progress that you see in Indonesia. So that's the building where the main equipment is going to be installed. Now, last time a lot of investors had concerns about Turkey. Now, I'm happy to state that the business environment and the economic environment, political environment in Turkey has stabilized. The relations with US and Europe also are moving towards normalization. Lira also has appreciated by almost 30%, from 7.92, the lowest point that we saw for lira. It's standing at around 5.5 to a dollar currently. So all in all, Turkey's situation politically, economically has improved over last 2 quarters. Our exposure, as I stated in the last earnings call as well, we were not impacted whatsoever by this upheaval in that market, given that we export almost 75% of our product into Europe and other markets. And all our domestic sales in Turkey are also in euro. So we had very limited exposure as far as the Turkish market is concerned. And whatever sales that we make to Turkey, just to have a recap on what I stated earlier, most of the sales is to converters who eventually export 70 to 80% of their produce. So more or less, for these reasons, we are not impacted with all this, these changes and upheavals in that market. Now, specialty products, specialty applications have been the backbone of Polyplex for last 2-3 years. We have been heavily focusing on R&D and for developing such products, on marketing and sales side, on identifying such needs at the customer end, and on the manufacturing side, one, to produce these products from our existing assets, two, to invest into assets which can help us to grow these product lines. And we have seen a significant growth in our sales of specialty products and the margins that we derive from the sales of specialty products year on year. Going forward, we see that specialty products would take us into a different league as far as Polyplex is concerned. Till 7-8 years back, there were names like DuPont, Mitsubishi, Toray, SKC in Korea, who used to lead the market as far as any new application development was concerned, any new product for any industry segment was concerned. The situation has now changed, and customers, global customers, look at Polyplex as the partner to participate in such developments for one simple reason, or let's say they see us as investing into this business where all these erstwhile majors have stopped investing into polyester film. One, we have created a niche for us, or a different space for us in this industry, where we jump onto any new application possibility that comes to us. We invest our resources, we invest R&D time into developing these products. And there are several product lines that Polyplex has now, which are not there with our competition, which is these erstwhile majors, DuPont, Toray, Mitsubishi, etc. And because of this, we are not seen as competing with Chinese or Indians. We are seen as a player which is there to stay, as a player which will contribute to the growth of this industry. And we will continue to put in all our efforts and endeavors to improve our positioning as far as specialty film production and applications are concerned, but not losing sight of the commodity market. We continue to invest in the commodity films to improve our cost base. As far as new investments in this segment are concerned, so we are investing in a new offline coater in Thailand, which is a value-add investment, uses polyester film. We are investing in a new silicone coating line, which is targeting electronic application and high-end optical application for the LED, LCD market. We are also looking at expanding our blown film capacity where we see a growth as far as industrial applications are concerned. The parent company has also invested into holographic films and offline coating for digital applications. So it's a focus for the whole group and also for Polyplex Thailand and its subsidiaries. Of late, all of you would have read a lot of hue and cry is there on in terms of sustainability, in terms of recyclability and reuse. Polyplex has taken lead as far as sustainability and carbon footprint is concerned. We have developed several product lines which help serve the cause of recyclability and sustainability, like green PET or bio-based, where we used bio-sourced MEG, biodegradable or compostable films, and also monolayer structures where a single substrate, either it is PET, 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 or olefin, olefin, olefin structures. So we are also working towards developing a heat soluble polyester which can help achieve all polyester 3-layer or 2-layer laminates. So that's what we have been able to develop or we are developing. We have been able to replace PVC, which is a huge environmental concern as far as a substrate and chemistry, as far as chemistry is concerned. And we have been able to replace PVC used in twist application, also used in over-lamination application by polyester twist film or polyester films for over-lamination applications. We have taken as a focus area to replace aluminum foil. And here the target is the carbon footprint. Polyester film has a significantly better carbon footprint as in comparison to aluminum foil. And it continues to be one of the focus. Offline coater is going to support this kind of stream of product development. As our investors would know that we, as Polyplex Thailand, invested in EcoBlue. And the new initiatives that EcoBlue has been working on, one is that they have partnered with a global silicon liner producer, Raflatech, where they will pick up post-consumer silicon liner film from the end consumers and recycle it and use this resin which is produced by recycling into different applications like polyester straps or injection molding. The new further initiative that EcoBlue has taken is to convert bottle flakes, PET bottle flakes into PET resin, and we intend to use this rPET resin in polyester film and have different rPET content, PCR rPET content varying from 30% to as high as 90%. So with all these initiatives, we are demonstrating a strong commitment to global initiative of sustainability, recyclability, reuse, and reduction in carbon footprint. And here I do need to mention that the company continues to invest heavily into energy conservation, water conservation. We typically invest somewhere around 200 to 300, maybe $500,000 every year into different initiatives. Most of these initiatives also have a very healthy return on investment. Now coming back to the industry structure, what I was talking about earlier. So there are around 10 or 11 new polyester film capacities coming up globally. There are 3 capacities coming up in Southeast Asia, and then other capacities are coming up in India, in Europe, and 1 capacity is coming up in US. All these capacities are expected to start between second half of 2019 up to first half of 21. Now, after accounting for all these capacities, we still find that the global demand-supply gap will continue to narrow, and the capacity utilizations would improve to somewhere around 85 to 87% in 2021. Now, why 2021 we have accounted for all the capacities which have been announced and ordered by now. Now, if any new capacity is announced or is ordered in 2019, it will take minimum 2 to 2.5 years to come up. That means any new capacity which is announced now will only come up in 2022. So whatever lines have been announced have been accounted for, and with that, we still see the industry CUF improving to around 85, 87%. There's a caveat here that there is one large producer in Middle East. Due to financial crisis, they had shut down all their lines. They had 7 lines with a total capacity of around roughly 150,000 tons. Now, over last 3-4 quarters, they have been able to start a few lines, but the financial crisis continues. So they are operating at a CUF of 20 to 30%. Now, if these capacities revive, then it would lead to dilution of CUF in 2020 or 2021, but the impact of this would be 2 to 3%, not more, even less probably. Now, on back of this closing demand-supply gap, the industry margins have continued to improve, as I stated earlier, and so have our margins. Here we have tried to gather data from the industry reports, and if you would see, the Chinese margins in Q1 of financial year 2016-17 were as low as 25 cents, 26 cents, and they have improved almost, let's say, 100%, coming to almost 54 cents. Now, there are seasonalities, especially when raw materials are volatile, which is the case now. The raw materials skyrocketed a quarter back, and now they have the crude went up to almost 80, and now crude oil has come below to almost $54, $55 as far as Brent is concerned. So the raw material cost for us also has gone down. And as we always mention, when the raw materials are going up, we are chasing the raw materials, so our margins tend to get diluted. And once the raw materials are falling, there's again a lag of 2 to 3 months till the prices come down and catch up with the raw materials. So we tend to have a slight improvement in the margins. And this is what would continue to happen. We have little control on the crude prices and how the raw materials would behave. We use PTA and MEG. These are 2 components of our raw material. MEG is expected to be in oversupply in 2019 and 2020. MEG is around 30-35% of our raw material. PTA is, which is almost 85%, 80-85% component, is in tight supply. The demand-supply gap in PTA industry is also narrowing. So we expect the PTA margins to remain healthy, remain high. As far as the reported PTA margins are concerned, they have improved. In 2016-17, the PTA margins over paraxylene were around $90. Now the same margins are at around $142. So PTA, we expect to be a tight market situation as far as PTA is concerned. But we have long-term contracts. We have 1-year contract, so we don't see any issue as far as availability of PTA for Polyplex is concerned. So key takeaways from the developments of last 2 quarters and also over last 2-3 years, that the industry continues to grow at a rate of 5 to 6%. Industry margins continue to improve on back of improving demand-supply gap. Our margins continue to improve because of our continued investment into specialty films and also debottlenecking the current capacities that we have. We have a global presence which we are leveraging to our benefit, and in addition, we have specialty films which have helped position us in a leadership role, not only in terms of production, but also in terms of partnership with our customers, with the industry, for expanding the industry itself. We continue as a company to focus on sustainability, and you will see more and more initiatives coming from Polyplex in this direction. And as we continue to say, our product mix is enviable in the industry. There is no company in this industry who manufactures who has this kind of product range, offline coating into downstream, then olefinic films, then extrusion coated films, silicon coated films. We are one of the very few companies in this industry who are able to achieve this, and also cross-pollinate ideas from one industry segment to another industry segment, one business segment to another business segment. Thanks. So the house is open for question and answers. Okay, so there's a question, how does the falling oil price affect your selling prices and cost? So raw material is almost 60-70% of polyester film cost. And it is a direct petrochemical product, so crude oil prices have direct bearing on our raw material cost. Raw material for polyester film is PTA and MEG, and for PTA it's paraxylene, which is a derivative of crude, and for MEG it's ethylene, which is coming from natural gas. So any change in crude oil prices affects the raw material price. The drop in crude oil prices essentially means that our raw materials have dropped. In fact, over last 1 month, 1.5 months, the raw materials have dropped by almost 20%, 22%. So that means the prices would also drop. It takes some time for the prices to catch up, going up as well as coming down. So we expect in short run the margins to improve, but then again the margins would stabilize. We don't expect a strong dilution on margins, but as it happens, when the prices are dropping, when the crude prices are dropping, it leads to kind of a negative business sentiment. So the margins also tend to dilute, but the dilution is limited. As we saw that Chinese margins are 55 cents, I would say 55 cents can be taken as 55 cents plus minus 5 plus minus 8 cents. So in the dropping markets, you would see a dilution of 5 to 8 cents, and increasing raw materials, you would expect an improvement in margins by 5 to 8 cents. This is how it moves.
คำถามนะครับคำถามในเรื่องเกี่ยวกับว่าในเรื่องของราคาน้ำมันดิบที่ลดลงเนี่ยจะมีผลกระทบกับทางด้านของราคาขายนะครับแล้วก็ต้นทุนของผลิตภัณฑ์อย่างไรนะครับอย่างที่ทางด้านของท่านผู้บริหารได้อธิบายให้ทราบแล้วนะครับทางด้านของก็คือวัตถุดิบนั้นนะครับราคาของวัตถุดิบนั้นเป็นต้นทุนของโพลีเอสเตอร์แผ่นโพลีเอสเตอร์ฟิล์มของเราประมาณ 60-65% นะครับก็ในช่วงประมาณ1 เดือนถึง1 เดือนครึ่งที่ผ่านมาเนี่ยนะครับวัตถุดิบราคาของวัตถุดิบนั้นแน่นอนเมื่อราคาน้ำมันดิบนั้นลดลงก็มีการส่งผลกระทบให้กับทางด้านของราคาของวัตถุดิบของเราก็จะลดลงด้วยนะครับซึ่งก็จะสะท้อนทำให้ทางด้านของราคาของผลิตภัณฑ์ของเรานั้นลดลงนะครับแต่ว่าอาจจะต้องใช้เวลานะครับพอสมควรทีเดียวก่อนที่ราคาของผลิตภัณฑ์ของเราจะปรับตัวลดลงนะครับช่วง1 เดือนถึง1 เดือนครึ่งที่ผ่านมาราคาของวัตถุดิบนั้นก็ลดลงไปประมาณ 20-22% นะครับก็แน่นอนนะครับทางด้านของผลในระยะสั้นก็จะทำให้ margin ของเราเนี่ยเพิ่มสูงขึ้นนะครับแต่อย่างไรก็แล้วแต่ margin ก็จะปรับตัวนะครับมีเสถียรภาพต่อไปนะฮะใน อนาคตครับนั่นคือคำตอบนะครับ
Can I ask some question with admiration to you? Most Honorable Mr. Amit Prakash, Managing Director, respected Suprita Pai and all on the dais. High appreciation for net profit growth of 165.43% from previous 6 months to this 6 months. I have one biggest admiration that both good parameters are on elevating, means shareholders equity elevating as well as market cap elevating, both together one way stable or elevating is a good omen of your company. I also admire ROE, ROA both are in double digit. Further admiration to your strong cash flow, positive operating cash flow, you are a value company. Negative investing cash flow, you are a growth company. Taken together is very few company on the set having growth company and value company attributes. I have one admiration that is helping you the net profit growth of 165%, means total revenue growth taken together or your subsidiary or associate 22.69, wherever total expense growth is 12.54, means your margin and conversion margin is increasing. This is good. I have one question and suggestion on your cash cycle. First is the admiration from 87 days to 85 days you have improved, but accounts receivable 53 days and accounts payable 38 days. There is a scope what you give, you can also gain improvement from 38 to 53 because market norms suggest this. I also have admiration to you regarding your price increase year to date 17.56. So you are on elevating as per the trend of SCT and packing sector, both you are surpassing and your company stand alone is higher. Why today? YT day 17.56. Please keep it the momentum, good momentum up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Duggar, for appreciation. Just one correction on the net profit change. As we have been mentioning in all of our presentations and off days that forex gains losses have a significant impact on the reported operations. And as you know, we have taken foreign currency loans. So I think last year there was a foreign currency loss. This year there is a foreign currency gain. So we should eliminate while comparing the real operations. So if we take that number in H1, our net profit growth is about 30%. So that is one. Second, we have taken a note of your comment on account receivable days and account payable days, and we are doing a lot on that. It also depends upon what kind of industry structure we are operating in, and our suppliers are operating in. As Kunamit is saying, PTA is in tight supply, so probably getting a higher credit from raw material supplier may be difficult. But yes, that's one of our main focus areas to improve the working capital cycle. Yeah.
Current portion of long-term loan 575, it is coming. So this is affecting your current ratio. Can you re-borrow back? Because Thailand is enjoying the lowest first policy interest rate at the moment of the central bank in ASEAN. So if you can look into medium to longer term, you can eliminate current portion of long-term loan, means 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So current portion will be zero, and your gross profit margin, EBITDA margin, all are above the cost of borrowing. So you can continue to enjoy both debt as well as your internal equity. Thank you. Internal equity accretion. Thank you.
ก็ทางด้านของนะครับท่านผู้สนใจนะครับก็พูดถึงในเรื่องเกี่ยวข้องกับทางด้านของตัวเลขทางการเงินนะครับทางด้านของในเรื่องเกี่ยวข้องกับทางด้านของการเติบโตของกำไรสุทธินะครับแล้วก็ในเรื่องของอัตราส่วนทางการเงินต่างๆนะครับไม่ว่าเป็นอัตราส่วนผลตอบแทนต่อในส่วนของผู้ถือหุ้นนะครับเรื่องของอัตราส่วนของผลตอบแทนในเรื่องของทางด้านของทุนที่มีการใช้ไปนะครับระยะเวลาในเรื่องของการเก็บหนี้จากลูกหนี้โดยเฉลี่ยนะครับแล้วก็ระยะเวลาในเรื่องของ การที่จะมีการจ่ายเงินกับเจ้าหนี้โดยเฉลี่ยเช่นเดียวกันนะครับแล้วก็ทางด้านของท่านผู้บริหารก็ได้ตอบไปแล้วนะครับทางด้านของส่วนของกำไรสุทธินะครับน่าจะอยู่ที่ประมาณ 30% นะครับถ้าส่วนในเรื่องของผลประกอบการที่เกี่ยวข้องกับทางด้านของการต่างประเทศนะครับถ้าเรามีผลตอบแทนจากทางด้านของอัตราแลกเปลี่ยนในปีที่แล้วซึ่งนะครับเป็นผลขาดทุนนะครับส่วนปีนี้เราก็คือได้กำไรนะครับจากในเรื่องของอัตราแลกเปลี่ยนทางการเงินเพราะฉะนั้นก็จะเป็นการชดเชยกันไปนะครับรวมทั้งมีการพูดถึงในเรื่องเกี่ยวข้องกับทางด้านของอัตราส่วนนะครับระหว่างหนี้สินต่อในส่วนของผู้ถือหุ้นนะครับท่านผู้สนใจก็บอกว่าในเรื่องเกี่ยวข้องกับการปรับปรุงสัดส่วนนะครับในเรื่องของทางด้านของเงินกู้ในระยะกลางแล้วก็เงินกู้ในระยะยาวนะครับซึ่งถ้ามีการปรับปรุงสัดส่วนที่เหมาะสมก็จะทำให้ผลประกอบการของบริษัทนั้นดีขึ้นครับ
More regarding Turkey. Turkey, you were saying there is no loss, no gain, or if you have loss, you have recovered back to the gain and equalize. I have one suggestion. Like the country, Thailand, they have balance of trade and also balance of payment, two items. One is of balance sheet, one is of income statement. If you consider four sides, two sides of balance sheet and two sides of income statement, then you see your exposure and position have or not. If you equalize, you are assets already in Turkey, you invested in Turkey. So appreciation, depreciation happen when currency deviate. So consider as a whole view, what is the net exposure and net position. I have one beautiful suggestion for you, like Thailand, when Thailand happened. They have put some capital controls, means two kind of exchange rates. One is onshore and one is offshore. Thailand faced this one. Two kinds of exchange rates, offshore different and onshore different. If you can utilize this good way to issue your import LCs in local currency, you will gain substantially. Total gap will be harnessed to your credit. This has happened in Thailand. Thank you.
Thank you for your suggestion, Mr. Dugal. Just would like to mention that our balance sheet in Turkey is euro, not in Turkish lira. So we hedge our cash flow and this thing based on euro, not Turkish lira. And we are in free zone company in Turkish lira, so any capital control put in by the government so far has not impacted our operations. So that is something which is good for us.
You not understood what I requested you. Not the country, the currency, not the individual company. When the currency deviate, impact comes on you. You cannot isolate. So I am speaking about the currency. When currency is facing capital control, not your company, not for export zone or non-export zone. Country as a whole, country's currency. Thailand's happened, Thai baht was subject to capital controls. And there was a beauty, whenever any country have capital controls, there is a beauty inbuilt in that, and that you can harness.
Right, I took your point, but what I probably am trying to communicate is that in Turkey market also we are not selling in Turkish lira. So our exposure in Turkish lira is very, very limited. So that is something which you can make a note, and we'll see what best we can do in terms of managing the overall scenario as if it worsens.
In fact, just to have a recap, I stated this in the last quarter earnings call as well. As far as our Turkey operations are concerned, as Ashutosh is saying, our balance sheet is in euros. Our costs, most of the costs are either in US or in US dollars or in euros, except for energy, which is the underlying currency is in Turkish lira, but paid again in US dollars. We actually have no costs in Turkish lira. And all our sales are in euros, either to Turkey or to EU. And a very small portion of our sales is in US dollars, that is to the North African countries or to CIS countries. So actually we have, one can safely say that our earnings are in euros and our outflows are in euros. And our balance sheet is also in euros.
ก็ทางด้านของนะครับงบดุลของเรานะครับสำหรับทางด้านของกิจการในตุรกีนั้นงบดุลของเรานั้นเป็นค่าเงินสกุลยูโรนะครับแล้วก็ในเรื่องของการควบคุมทางด้านของทุนนะครับซึ่งอาจจะมีการกำหนดโดยรัฐบาลก็ไม่ได้มีผลกระทบอะไรกับผลประกอบการของเราในประเทศตุรกีนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นในส่วนของก็คือว่า อัตราความเสี่ยงนะครับที่จะเกิดขึ้นจากเรื่องของความผันผวนของค่าเงินตุรกีคือค่าเงินลีรานั้นจำกัดเอามากๆนะครับแล้วก็เนื่องจากทางด้านของงบดุลของเรานั้นค่าเงินนั้นเป็นค่าเงินสกุลยูโรนะครับต้นทุนก็เป็นค่าเงินสกุลดอลลาร์สหรัฐอเมริกาหรือว่าค่าเงินยูโรนะครับยกเว้นในเรื่องของค่าต้นทุนพลังงานเท่านั้นซึ่งเป็นค่าเงินสกุลตุรกีก็คือยูราทางด้านของนะครับก็คือการขายของเรานะครับก็คือว่าเงินที่ได้รายได้จากการขายก็เป็นค่าเงินยูโรนะครับสำหรับการขายในทางด้านของประเทศในแถบยุโรปแล้วก็ประเทศตุรกีครับ
Appreciation for your improvement of ROA from 7.68 to 13.41 means you are utilizing your assets, income-bearing assets, making them more and more income-bearing assets. High admiration to the top management. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
ก็ขอบคุณนะครับทางด้านของในเรื่องของอัตราผลตอบแทนต่อทรัพย์สินนะครับของทางด้านของบริษัทของเรานะครับอัตราก่อนตอบแทนของทรัพย์สินนั้นก็นะครับปรับปรุงขึ้นนะครับเพิ่มขึ้นครับ
Hello.
Your balance sheet, all parameters improved. Can you request for the review upwards in your credit rating to Fitch and Trees wherever you are having? Because fundamentals so good that there is need upward revision.
ก็ขอบคุณนะครับในเรื่องของข้อมูลต่างๆที่ต้องการให้บริษัทของเราก็คือร้องขอนะครับให้ทางด้านของบริษัทจัดอันดับเครดิตได้มีการนะครับปรับปรุงอันดับเครดิตของเราทางด้านของ Fitch Ratings นะครับขอบคุณครับ
I have a question. Given our strength, the strength of our financial capital structure, and also the prospect of film being like fully utilized in the future of the industry, should we like invest more, like probably new plans or some M&A opportunities, or and other people also, I mean, other producers must have seen the same report. Why don't they invest more?
We continue to scout for all these possibilities, be it mergers and acquisition, or to grow, to expand further in polyester film globally. If you see, there's a big difference in the way the investments are happening this time compared to what happened in 2010-11. Now, in 2010-11, a lot of the expansion was new capacities came up from the new industry, the players who were not in the industry. So there were a lot of new players who jumped into the industry, thinking that the industry margins would continue at this level year on year. Whereas this time, all the investments, 100% of the investments are being made by industry players, people who are there in the industry for last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. So this kind of behavior is quite natural because the industry players, including us, understand the dynamics of the industry. And that is why there is a very careful investment being made by everyone. And the investments are also spread out globally. So it's not that all investments are coming in one geography or one region. Here also, if you see, one investment is coming in Thailand, two are coming in Indonesia, one or two are coming in India, one in Pakistan, two in Russia, one in Europe, two in Europe, one in US. So it's actually geographically spread. Also, there is always some capacity margin which is there in existing capacities. We always say that 85% of the capacity is 100% industry capacity utilization, but it is changing also. Like you have seen in our case, in case of Polyplex, we have been able to achieve almost 4%, 5% year on year or 10% year on year improvement in capacities. We are able to debottleneck our capacities. Other players are also trying to do the same. Also, one needs to mention that there are idle capacities in China. So when there was a serious overcapacity which happened in 2012-13, a lot of capacities were shut in China. Now slowly those capacities are coming on stream. So that is something which is not factored here, but they will also come on stream. So I would say this time industry is moving very cautiously as far as the capacity expansion is concerned. And industry is trying to avoid what happened in 2010 and then what happened in 2012. So this would bring some stability to the margins. As far as Polyplex is concerned, we are continuously on a lookout for possibility of acquisition, number one. But in acquisition, we are very careful because the asset age is very important in our business. So we have to look at, very old assets will not deliver good returns. One, we are also, as a strategy, company has decided to invest heavily into value add segments. Now, value add segments essentially means that we are investing into downstream value add, side stream value add like BOPP. We are also upgrading our one of the lines that we have in Thailand, which is old line set up in 2003. We are converting it into a specialty line. So we'll continue to invest, but we are very cautious. The industry also is very cautious in making block investments of 3, 4, 5 lines into polyester film. And also in this industry, there is always there are changes which happen in application. If you see, just to name one application, optical segment, electronic segment is growing very, very fast. But within this segment, there are big changes happening. The biggest change that you would have seen has where the televisions have moved from being LCD to LED or OLED, which is called. Now, in LCD screens, the number of layers of polyester was much more than number of layers used in OLED screens. So these kind of internal dynamics are also there in the industry. One has to factor in that. I would say we as Polyplex would continue to invest. We will also expand our capacity as far as base polyester film is concerned. But like the industry, we are also cautiously watching to have industry at a stable margin rather than having peaks and valleys.
ก็ทางด้านของบริษัท Polyplex ของเรานะครับก็มีในเรื่องของการจับตามองในเรื่องของการลงทุนในขณะที่ก็พยายามจะหาช่องทางนะครับโอกาสในการลงทุนอย่างต่อเนื่องอยู่เสมอนะครับและเราก็พยายามจะหา margin นะครับที่มีความเสถียรนะครับแทนที่จะต้องนะครับระวังกับ margin ที่มีความผันผวนแน่นอนว่าเราพยายามมองหาช่องทางที่เป็นไปได้นะครับไม่ว่าจะเป็นในเรื่องของการซื้อกิจการหรือว่าการควบรวมกิจการแต่ว่าถ้าทางการที่จะมีการควบรวมกิจการเราก็ต้องมองดูนะครับอายุของทรัพย์สินของกิจการที่เราจะเข้าไปควบรวมนะครับถ้าอายุของทรัพย์สินนะครับของกิจการที่เราจะเข้าไปควบรวมนั้นมีอายุเก่ามากแล้วนะครับผลตอบแทนที่ได้ก็คงจะไม่ดีเท่าไหร่นะครับรวมทั้งการลงทุนที่มีอยู่เราก็พยายามจะลงทุนนะครับในผลิตภัณฑ์ที่จะเป็นผลิตภัณฑ์มูลค่าเพิ่มนะครับพยายามที่จะปรับปรุงนะครับทางด้านของสายการผลิตต่างๆที่มีอยู่ในไทยนะครับเวลาที่เราดูเราก็จะต้องมีการในเรื่องของการปรับปรุงสายการผลิตอยู่นะครับให้เป็นผลิตภัณฑ์มูลค่าเพิ่มนะครับมีการลงทุนในผลิตภัณฑ์สายการผลิตต่างๆแล้วก็ดูถึงในเรื่องของเกี่ยวข้องกับอุตสาหกรรมที่จะมีการเอาแผ่นฟิล์มโพลีเอสเตอร์ของเราไปประยุกต์ใช้ด้วยนะครับแล้วก็มองย้อนกลับไปนะครับถ้าดูในเรื่องของระหว่างปี 2010 ถึงปี 2011 เนี่ยการลงทุนเนี่ยจะเป็นการลงทุนในเรื่องของการเพิ่มกำลังการผลิตใหม่ๆโดยทางด้านของผู้เล่นหน้าใหม่ที่เข้ามาในอุตสาหกรรมนะครับและก็ส่งผลทำให้เกิดนะครับทางด้านของกำลังการผลิตส่วนเกินในตลาดในปี 2012-2013 ต่อมาแต่ว่าการลงทุนณปัจจุบันนี้ในขณะนี้เป็นการของผู้เล่นเดิมนะครับผู้เล่นที่อยู่ในทางด้านของวงการอุตสาหกรรมนี้แล้วมาเป็นเวลาไม่ต่ำกว่า 10-15 ปีหรือว่า 20 ปีเพราะฉะนั้นมันก็เลยมีพลวัตนะครับในเรื่องของทางด้านของการลงทุนนะครับแล้วการลงทุนที่เกิดขึ้นนี้กระจายกันไปทั่วโลกนะครับปัจจุบันนี้ไม่ว่าจะเป็นที่อินเดียปากีสถานรัสเซียประเทศไทยอินโดนีเซียนะครับก็ที่บริษัท Polyplex ของเราเนี่ยเราก็ดูนะครับถ้ากำลังการผลิตใช้ไปถึง 85% เนี่ยเราถือว่าเราใช้กำลังการผลิตเต็มร้อยนะครับแล้วก็ในส่วนของอีกสิ่งหนึ่งก็คือว่าในเรื่องของกำลังการผลิตส่วนที่หยุดไปนะครับซึ่งตอนนี้ยังมีอยู่แต่ว่ายังไม่ได้เอาออกมาใช้งานนะครับในประเทศจีนซึ่งกำลังจะกลับมาอีกอย่างช้าๆครับ
Appreciation to you. First, I appreciate about the product differentiation you are doing since 1913 and 14. High appreciation. This is one of the best management technique. Another one, you are having steps, strong steps to replace PVC. You have taken on the right time. This will help to you for carbon footprints further. You are doing conservation for energy and water both. High appreciation. This will help you. Can you start making sustainability report in AGM separately like the top 50, top 100 companies are making it? And if you are already making it, we could not have, we would like to have one copy.
Mr. Dugar, sorry to disturb you. We are running short and there are 3 questions. So can we take that first?
I have one question.
The second question is the same as the first question. They're talking about the falling price of the oil. So the third question that, they ask if the company expect that the third quarter performance, will have a higher growth than the one in the second quarter. And the fourth question, they said that, can you please elaborate on the upcoming previous idle capacity in China, which I think you have elaborated that already, how much and when. And given feedback costs are declining, do you feel producer have any remaining room to capture more margin, or should the margin be partially returned to customers? ก็มีคำถามนะครับจากทางด้านของอยู่หน้าเว็บนะครับก็ถามนะครับว่าบริษัทคาดว่าไตรมาสที่3นั้นจะเติบโตดีกว่าไตรมาส2หรือไม่นะครับแล้วก็จากปัจจัยอะไรแล้วก็คำถามต่อไปอีกคำถามนึงเป็นคำถามใหม่นะครับในเรื่องเกี่ยวข้องกับทางด้านของก็คือว่าต้นทุนนะครับของทางด้านของฟีดสต็อกเนี่ยที่ลดลงมาเนี่ยคิดว่าทางด้านของผู้ผลิตเนี่ยยังจะมีโอกาสที่เหลืออยู่ไหมนะครับในการที่จะสร้างมาร์จิ้นเพิ่มขึ้นหรือว่าทางด้านของนะครับมาร์จิ้นนั้นควรจะกลับคืนมาสู่ทางด้านของตัวลูกค้าครับ
Okay, so I will quickly take the question number 4 because part of it I had already answered. So first part is as far as China is concerned, it's very difficult to say how many capacities are idle. But just to give the group an example, there was one large company which was having 11 lines at 2 different locations. One location had 5 lines, another location had 6 lines. We do know that the 6 lines are already operational for last 6-7 months. Another 5 lines at a different location are under the process of restarting or commencing the operations. So all these capacities will slowly keep coming on stream. It is very difficult to say when they will come, but I can safely say if the industry margins are in this range as far as China is concerned, I would say any margin which is more than 50 cents, it's a good incentive for the producers to bring their capacities back on stream. Now, some capacities which are very old may not come on stream ever, but capacities which were not very old may come on stream in this period. It's very difficult to say when. The second part of the question was related to feedstock and what it impacts on us. As I mentioned earlier, when the raw materials go up, we are chasing the raw materials, so margins tend to get diluted, squeezed. And when the raw materials are following for 2-3 months, we see the expansion of the margins. On a longer term average, I would say the margins come back to the normal level, give and take a few cents.
ก็ทางด้านของกำลังการผลิตนะครับของทางด้านของบริษัทบางแห่งในจีนนะครับก็ในส่วนของคำถามนี้นะครับมีบริษัทยักษ์ใหญ่บริษัทหนึ่งในจีนนะครับที่มีสายการผลิตทั้งหมด11สายด้วยกันตอนนี้นะครับ6สายแล้วนะครับที่มาเปิดในเรื่องของเดินเครื่องกำลังการผลิตในช่วง 6-7 เดือนที่ผ่านมานะครับแล้วก็มีอยู่อีกเหลืออยู่5สายนะครับซึ่งก็อาจจะมีการเปิดนะครับเดินเครื่องกำลังการผลิตนี้เมื่อไหร่ก็ได้นะครับเมื่อไหร่ก็แล้วแต่นะครับที่ทางด้านของ margin อยู่ที่ประมาณนะครับ50 เซนเมื่อไหร่ก็แล้วแต่เนี่ยนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยก็จะเป็นการดึงดูดทำให้ทางด้านของผู้เล่นเนี่ยเข้ามานะครับซึ่งมีกำลังการผลิตส่วนที่ยังไม่ได้ใช้อยู่แล้วเข้ามานะครับแล้วก็คำถามในเรื่องเกี่ยวข้องกับทางด้านของก็คือว่าราคาของวัตถุดิบแน่นอนนะครับเมื่อราคาของวัตถุดิบนั้นลดลงนะครับmarginเพิ่มขึ้นแต่ว่านะครับแล้วก็ในส่วนของยังไงก็แล้วแต่ margin ก็จะต้องใช้เวลาหลังจากนั้นประมาณ 2-3 เดือนนะครับกว่าจะปรับตัวลงเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยอาจจะพูดว่าในส่วนของระยะยาวนะครับ margin นะอาจจะค่อนข้างมีความเสถียรนะครับ and the expected growth in the third quarter comparing with the one in the second quarter?
It's very difficult to comment because, as we have stated always, there are factors which are beyond our control. Number one is the change in raw materials. Raw materials have fallen by 20% over last 1 month. Last year, same period, the raw materials had increased by almost 20%. So very difficult to say. Also, as far as quarter 3 is concerned, quarter 3 has holidays in Europe and in USA. So demands in month of December is tends to be weak. As far as things which we have in our control is one, production. So in terms of production, we don't expect any. We expect production numbers to be similar to what we had in last quarter. Margins is very difficult to say. With all these factors, they may remain at this level. They may slightly get diluted because of the holidays, and or they may get improved if the raw materials continue in this direction.
ก็ในเรื่องของการเติบโตนะครับของในเรื่องของไตรมาส 3นี่เป็นเรื่องยากมากนะครับก็อย่างที่ทางด้านของนะครับได้แจ้งไปแล้วท่านผู้บริหารนะครับทางด้านของปีนี้ก็คือว่าราคาของวัตถุดิบนั้นลดลง 20-25% ถ้าเปรียบเทียบกับในช่วงเดียวกันเมื่อปีที่แล้วเพิ่มขึ้น 20-25% นะครับรวมทั้งทางด้านของความต้องการนะครับเนื่องจากในยุโรปแล้วก็สหรัฐอเมริกานั้นความต้องการในช่วงของเวลาที่มีวันหยุดยาวเนี่ยความต้องการของผลิตภัณฑ์ในไตรมาสที่ 3 ก็น้อยลงแต่ว่าการผลิตนะครับปริมาณการผลิตอาจจะมีความคล้ายคลึงกันนะครับแล้วก็ทางด้านของตัว margin นะครับอาจจะนะครับก็คือลดลงหรือว่าอาจจะเท่าเดิมนะครับเพราะนั้นเป็นเรื่องยากมากเลยที่จะคาดการณ์ในเรื่องเกี่ยวข้องกับไตรมาสที่ 3 ครับ
Can I have the question on raw material volatility impacting to you? I have one suggestion. Can you match spot to spot and forward to forward to reduce any adverse impact of volatility? Volatility may happen up and down, not affecting even 1% to your company profitability. Means whatever you have spot raw material, you can match with the finished goods spot forward to forward number of months, and this way you can safeguard your profitability.
ขอบคุณนะครับขอบคุณครับ